So over the past few days, especially after we could try Brant in the current event, I've heard a lot of negativity around how hard it is to build Brant. Now, it is a fact that if you want to build Brant at his max power, you'll need to invest heavily into him. But the fact is that he is so overtuned that building a usable Brant is not difficult at all. So I'm making this video in order to disprove the current narrative around Brant. So what is everyone so worried about? So in the game right now, you can go in, gallery, and Brant is in the game. You can see his multipliers, you can see how it works. What everyone is so worried about is his ability Theatrical Moment, which increases his attack based on NG regen. And on his ult, it's My Moment, which does the same thing. Now, if you want to hit the cap of this, you have to have 280% energy regen. Which sounds like a lot. And it is, but it's not that hard to get. Now, the other reason that everyone is so worried about Brant is that he only has 3 viable weapons, it seems. So he has Overture, which when you max it out gives 51.8% energy regen. He would have his Signature, if you don't want any spoilers, just skip 10 seconds ahead, which would give 77% energy regen. And his last option is to use Emerald of Genesis, because it gives 12.8%. Now, do you want his weapon if you want the most out of him? Yes, you will. Is Emerald of Genesis or Overture usable on him? Yes, they are. So I did some calculations, and after trying him in the trial, I cooked up this rotation. So this rotation is intro, ult, then you skill plunge, you skill up in the air, you do your basic attacks until you get to the 3rd flip, and then you do your forte and outro. This rotation can definitely be optimized. There's definitely some cancels that you can do to speed it up. Now, this rotation includes a skill in the start of the rotation, or before all the basic attacks, and this is to try to take advantage of Emerald's passive. Now, before I get into the numbers, these are speculations. They are based on leaks. He's not currently out, so take everything I'm about to say with a grain of salt. Here is a graph where I compiled the DPS without any outside buffs. If you use Overture or Signature, then Tidebreaker is the better alternative. But if you only have Emerald, then Molten is the better alternative. If you have Emerald and you want to run Tidebreaker, then you can do that, but you have to run 33311. In addition to this damage, he also heals and shields. And here you can see the graph compiling all the healing and shielding currently during this rotation. And it seems like he's hitting pretty good numbers with shielding around 9k and healing around 5k for every rotation. Taking his Emerald Molten set into account, because that's the set that most people would have available, we can look at how he compares to the other sub-DPSs. And what we see is that he seems to be very well balanced. He has higher on-field DPS than Rocha and Jeje, and Yin Lin and Changli's rotation do more damage, but they're also really optimized. Yin Lin, if you don't play her without any of the cancels, drops down to around 24,000 DPS as well. So we will see if there is any cancels to be found, but he seems to just be straight in the middle when it comes to DPS. Now, you have to take in account that Jeje and Yin Lin both have coordinated attacks, Changli is pure damage, and Rocha has grouping. And in addition to that, Brant has healing and shielding. So you can't just look at the damages, but he seems to be very well balanced. Now keep in mind that the rotation I took him through is most likely not the most optimized one. Another interesting thing is that his signature seems to be the single highest damage spike we currently have in the game for a weapon. In the list I have on screen, their signatures increase their damage from around 10% to max of 23%, which is the inline. In my calculations, it seems like Brant's signature will increase his damage by 40%. Now, keep in mind, this is pre-calculations. He may get changed. He is not currently out, so his values may change. But in my opinion, if you like Brant, then get him. He works with Overture, he works with Emerald, you just need 4 energy regen substats. He's not that hard to build, get him to 250 ER, and that's kind of it. You don't need him all the way up to 280. Now, if you want him as a sub DPS, or maybe a main DPS, yes, you will need his weapon. If you just want him as a support, no, he's totally fine without his weapon. That's just all I wanted to say in this video. I've heard a lot of negativity around Brant. Should you get him? Should you not get him? But if you actually look at his multipliers, if you look at how much attack he gets from converting ER, he is more than good enough. But that's just my 2 cents. If you like this type of content, subscribe to the channel. I'll make more of it. I'm also gonna make a Brant guide the moment he actually comes out. I don't want to brand anything as a guide yet, when his values may change. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.